Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about everything we know about Destiny 2 Frontiers so far. There's been, a lot of information that was released, so I decided to put it all together so you can just watch this video and pretty much be up to date on all the important things. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, and let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. So first, let's start by the biggest change that we'll be seeing, and it's a change in the way that we get expansions. Instead of a single major expansion every year like we've been getting for like the last couple of years, we're going to be getting two medium-sized expansions instead of a big singular expansion. And these expansions are going to be every 6 months. The expansions will include a raid, a campaign, and a couple of other activities, and they're also going to launch at the same time as a free season. And the first expansion we're going to get is going to be in summer 2025, which is going to be Codename Apollo. Now it seems that they're going to be messing around with campaigns a little bit more than they have in the past. Basically, we always kind of gotten kind of linear campaigns, but it seems like now there will be a new campaign structure with new campaign formats like roguelikes and survival shooters. But this very first one, Apollo, will be a non-linear story. So it looks like we're going to be able to explore the new story location just however we like. From the sound of it, it actually kind of reminds me of back in Forsaken when we hunted the Fallen Barons, that you could hunt them in any order that you wanted. It kind of reminds me of that, but for a full-fledged campaign. Basically, they said that the more you play, the more you discover the story, and the more the story progresses. But the story is still being designed in a way that it always makes sense no matter what order you take the objectives on. Now for the actual story of the campaign, it seems like Bungie is aiming to return to that mystery and wonder that early Destiny kind of had, and that we kind of lost this last couple of years, so it doesn't really feel the same, meaning that we'll be seeing some new locations, new characters, and new factions that we have never seen before. So it looks like, even though they haven't confirmed it, that we are probably going to be leaving the solar system and exploring new worlds, like a lot of people kind of speculated we were going to do. It seems like Bungie is heading in that different direction, which makes sense because we have been in our solar system for so long and explored so many different places that the wonder and mystery is kind of gone there. So it makes sense to go somewhere else and explore there. Yep, you saw that right. Seasons are returning. After the 3 episodes, there will be no more episodes, and we'll be getting back to basically the seasonal model. They're going to be every 3 months, and will include stuff like strikes, exotic missions, new modes like Onslaught, new weekly events, sandbox updates, new weapons, armor, artifact mods, all that stuff that we basically have been seeing with seasons. We're going to see some of that. They said the new seasons are essentially going to be into the light size, so you can get an idea of how big the seasons are going to be, and they're also going to be free. So you're no longer going to have to pay for the seasons, for the story, for the missions. All of that will be free, and that's basically because they changed their view on seasons. The goal behind seasons now is to make the game easier for anyone to play and recommend, essentially making it easier for players to get into the game and play some of the latest content without having to pay a bunch of money and just immediately being turned away. And I think that this is a pretty good idea. The only thing that I'm worried about is still just the onboarding process in Destiny is still pretty bad. So hopefully they're planning on doing something about that too, because if that onboarding new light experience is not improved, then it doesn't really matter if the seasons are going to be free, because a new light will probably never even make it that far. Now a new feature the Bungie is introducing is going to be the portal. This will offer several categories of activities that will refresh every major update, so every 3 months. And these are going to be the categories that are going to be in it. The first one is solo ops. These are activities that require load time or social commitment and are basically designed for solo players, but you can still go in there with a fire team. After that, we have fire team ups. These are 3-player activities with matchmaking, and this will feature activities like the Koyo, Onslaught, Strikes, as well as new type of those activities. After that, we have flashpoint ups, which are the 6-player match-made activities, and these ones are planned for future seasons and are supposed to be more chaotic, combat-focused missions. Not really many mechanics, it's mostly going to be about fighting enemies. And lastly, we're going to have the Pinnacle Ups. These are 3-player activities that focus on some of the more challenging content like the exotic missions, full onslaught runs, dungeons, and it will also have an exclusive reward pool to essentially make it worth your time. Other things that you're also going to be able to access straight from the portal are going to be the current expansion activities and also seasonal events like Iron Banner or Festival of the Lost. So all of those are going to be in there as well, so you can easily find them. Now, getting you into activities is not like the only thing the portal can do. It also gives you the ability to modify challenges in those activities. You'll be able to change things such as giving combatants new abilities, raise the power level of the activity, or introduce other modifiers that like basically change the way you play the activity. And the amount of modifiers you'll be able to put on kind of depends on your base activity. The higher your base activity is, like if you want your activity to be at GM level, the more challenges you're going to be able to put on top of that already difficult activity. So it feels like if you really want to make the activity really challenging, you can. The higher your base activity is and your challenge modifiers, the better your loot is gonna be. And you'll be able to use this system in pretty much, they said, any PvE activity. So if you really want to increase the difficulty on anything with these modifiers, you'll be able to. So that is definitely something that I could see myself using. Maybe not all the time, but definitely when I'm looking for a bit more of a challenge. The thing that I'm worried about is about the rewards. Are the rewards really gonna match the level of difficulty? We're gonna have to wait and see. I just really hope that they really do match it and they essentially like make it worth it to go for those really difficult activities with all those modifiers. Another thing that everyone cares about, the loot. And for the loot, the big change that's coming is that there's gonna be new tiers to legendary weapons. The higher the tier your weapon is, the more stat bonuses and enhanced perks that I will be able to get. And the concept that they show here is looking pretty crazy. Essentially every single perk in the weapon is enhanced, and overall it should be better than like the original. Now, the way that you get the different tier weapons is that they're gonna come from like more difficult activities. If you run just something like a strike, you might get like a tier 1 weapon, which should be identical to basically like a regular legendary weapon right now. But as you do higher level activities, you should be able to get higher tier weapons and get those stat bonuses that come along with it. Another thing that they're doing that's related to gear and weapons is that the new gear will have a shiny new Neo gear icon, basically so players can identify some of the new weapons that were added that season or that expansion. And there will also be special modes for you to really show off this new gear for both Crucible and some PvE activities, as well as them having new artifact specific bonuses for the new gear in some of the future artifacts. So overall, looks like Bungie is really going to be pushing us to use that new gear essentially every season that comes out. So not only are we going to be using the weapons because they're shiny, but also because they're straight up just going to be more powerful the season that they release, meaning that they're probably going to be like the best things to use that season. And like I can see what Bungie is like going for here. They really want people to use the new weapons when they, just made those new weapons. But still, I'm a little skeptical on the system. I guess we'll really have to wait and see to see how just powerful these artifact mods are and just how much better they make these new weapons. But with that, that's actually everything. All the important things from the last couple of articles. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys are looking forward to a specific thing. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.